Hello, my name is Joanna Garcia and this is my Siop lesson plan. The grade level I will be focusing on is 3rd grade. The content area is social studies, thematic unit topic, group activity, interactive journal, and collaboration. The lesson topic is United States geography. The TEKS I will be using is 3rd grade geography. The student understands how humans adapt. The student is expected to describe similarities and differences in physical environment, including climate, landforms, natural resources, and natural hazards. The student will identify and compare how people in different communities adapt. The student will describe the effects of human processes such as building, new homes, conservation, and pollution shaping the landscape. Number of language ELPs that I will be using are these: cross-curricular secondary language acquisition, cross-curricular second language acquisition reading, cross-curricular second language acquisition writing. So I will be using speaking, reading, and writing language acquisitions. The objectives are: the content objectives will be introduce the concept of geography and basic regions of the United States to students by completing the building background activity that I will have for them. The students will also scaffold students' reading of the selected passage by placing them in level appropriate groups. The students will model good question writing by discussing HOTS. HOTS is higher order thinking skills. The language objectives are that students will list 2 questions about the given geography text after reading it with a small group. The student will describe at least 3 things that the geographers study after reading the passage with a small group. The students will create a poster about at least 3 geographical aspects of our own community with a small group. The key vocabulary or vocabulario are geography, resources, landforms, culture, regions. The supplementary materials are warm-up activity posters, appendices A through D, reading passage called What is Geography, reading worksheet called Questions about What is Geography. Big poster paper, markers, and pencils will be used. The style features that I will be using in my lesson are: preparation, adapt content to proficiency level, grouping, whole class and small groups. Strategies for students will be predict, summarize, categorize, evaluate, solve problems, self-monitoring, scaffolding, pattern, guided practice, practice alone, comprehensible input, demonstrations, visuals. The language domain and processes will be read, write, speak, and listen. Review. We will review vocabulary, key concepts, and we will supply feedback. Application. Students will use hands-on activities, useful and relevant, and promote participation. Assessment, individual, group, and written. Sorry about that. So these are my features that I chose for my lesson. Moving on to the activity parts. The sequence of activities. Motivation. Get students interested. I will ask students to do the warm-up activity by going to your corner activity. Teachers will separate students into 4 groups. I, as a teacher, will number the corners of the room 1, 2, 3, and 4. Each corner will have a picture poster. Each group will go to their assigned corner and look at their assigned picture poster, appendices A through D. Corner 1 will have a picture of a map and a compass. Corner 2, a picture of the ocean and mountains. Corner 3 will have a picture of food and clothes. Corner 4 will have a picture of farms and trees. The student will then discuss the following questions related to their picture. What are these pictures of? Is a question. How you see the things in these pictures before? Have you ever seen the pictures before? What do you think these pictures will have to do with geography and social studies? After the students answer these questions, the students will discuss the way they will return to their seats. The teacher will ask students what they came up with and write some of the answers on the whiteboard. As a teacher, I will keep up the answers that the students wrote on the whiteboard for the duration of the lesson. Then I will introduce lesson topic, geography, and the lesson objectives to the class. Presentation, share information, present or demonstrate. The teacher will write the question, what is geography, on the whiteboard and allow students to respond to the question. The teacher will write students' response underneath the question on the whiteboard that correspond to the lesson. The teacher will list content vocabulary words listed above on whiteboard if not already listed. Then the teacher will list high-order thinking skill questions to engage students in critical thinking. Questions are as followed. Why do people study geography? What is geography? What is important about geography? How can we use geography to learn more about our own country and community? What do we know about our community's geography? Those are the 5 questions that I will be asking the students. And then as a teacher, I will read the passage, what is geography, aloud to the students while projecting it on the whiteboard. The teacher will then ask students if they can define the content vocabulary words based on the reading, record answers on the board, and instruct students to reference the board when they are completing the practice activity. This is just something I would work with my students to get their attention and to learn more about the geography lesson that we are on. Students will also practice applications. Students do the activities. Separate students into groups of 3 to 4 based on level. Give each group a copy of what is geography and the corresponding worksheet. Instruct students to read the top portion of their worksheet and complete. Model writing good questions by reviewing some of the higher order thinking questions the teacher listed on the board. I will allow students to discuss and write 2 questions on their worksheets. I will also instruct students to read the reading passage as a group, silently or out loud, whichever is easier for that group. After students read the passage, instruct each group to work as a team to come up with a summary of the passage on the bottom half of the worksheet. And this is how the students will work together and encourage each other to continue on their activities. The assessment. The teacher will give each group a piece of big poster paper. Instruct students to create a geography poster answering the higher order thinking questions. What do we know about our community's geography? I will then instruct students to draw and write out 3 things they know about their own community's geography. I will encourage students to use their worksheets for guidance. I will provide help with generating ideas by asking leading questions. As geographers, what would we study about our community is a question. What might we find out by studying geography in our community? What are we looking for in the community? After the students are done with their posters, I will hang them around the room. And finally, we will review and wrap up. Review the objects of the lesson. I will allow students to walk around the room to look at the posters that the other groups in the class created. These are the pictures I will be posting on each corner for the group activities. This is the map of the United States and the compass. These are the pictures for corner 2, the mountains, the ocean that I talked about. Corner 3 will have these pictures. Corner 4 will have this picture of the trees with the oranges and the farm. This is the activity on what is geography, the reading passage that I will give the students for their assignment. What is geography? Geography is the study of the earth and its features. Geographers are people who study geography. I will probably read this little passage with the students and then have them read it on their own with their group members. Then I will give them the assignment, which is questions about what is geography. And that is what I plan to do with this lesson. Thank you for listening.